All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Friday Global Lab patch notes reading. So, today is November 22nd, and Global Lab patch notes usually drop on Fridays, and we like to read them. And usually, Global Lab notes go to the live servers within a week. So, yeah, it's always good to keep up with the patch notes, see what kind of events and things are coming up, just so you can prepare at least a week in advance. And yeah, if you want to read this, I'll leave a link in the description as well so you can read the official notes. It's Google translated from Korean to English, so I'll try to make it make sense and everything. So, I kind of briefly skimmed the notes, but I didn't actually take a full look at it. And there's a lot of class balance changes, or when I say balances, it's like PvE buffs, more or less. Another week of a lot of classes getting buffed, except the one that I play. Very cool. So, admittedly, we probably aren't going to be talking about too much of this simply because I don't know how well, I don't know these classes as well enough as like Dark Knight or a few other ones. So, the ones that I do know we'll talk about. Anyway, Berserker. Fix an issue where skills would not be used when there was a lack of fighting spirit. Okay, I mean, I thought that's how it works intentionally. The issue where down attack effect was not applied to the first and second hits of, and the counter attack effect was not applied in the third hit of beast form has been fixed. Cool. Added flavor text or text to that. Sorcerer, don't know it. Valkyrie. Ooh, this one has a developer note. That must mean it's important. In the past update, we made adjustments to the ultimate Sword of Judgment skill. We noticed that the damage for the Succession Prime ability was lower than the intended, so they buffed it. Okay. However, there was an issue where the number of hits for the Prime Sword of Judgment was being applied abnormally and resulting in higher damage intended. So they changed it, but then it wasn't really better. And then they buffed it, and now it's doing too much damage, so they're nerfing it to normal values. Believe it or not, Valkyrie was the first class I've ever made in this game when I first started over 8 years ago. And so I know Valkyrie a little bit, but I don't know it really well. So the range of travel has been increased. Cool, more change. Cast speed to be faster. Some text description change. All right, so River. 1, 2, 3, just more damage increased, and the ultimate. Okay, cool. Every week, I find it funny they call Tamer Goldfish, but it is what it is. Okay, so Tamer fixed the issue where critical hit probability was not applied when the last name of the Cloud Step technique was successful. Has been fixed. Oh, cool. This is the one we kind of talked about last week, and I was always wondering what ninja really need, because I think ninjas are actually a really good class, and do they need buffs? Not really, or any changes, but let's see. Flow effect by the skill specialization of the flashing murder skill, the phenomenon where the skill specialization was not actually applied. Oh, so a technical fix, not a damage fix. The flow damage increase, and okay, so it's just technical fixes, not like damage buffs or anything. 7 pointed star, I know Mystic a little bit. Phenomenon with a monster stiffness on the second hit has been fixed. Oh, that's cool. Spiral torpedo in the description of the tech skill, number of hits has been corrected. Okay, so a lot of these changes are not really PvEs. There's some of them like Valkyrie, but a lot of these are just technical fixes. Lawn. So, okay, Archer and then Nova. This looks like a Succession ability. Fix the issue where the cavalry charge combo would not occasionally activate when the hit was successful. I sort of noticed that. Admittedly, my Nova or both Awaken and Succession are both boss alts, but I don't grind with it. I just noticed some things are abnormal. That's about it. The intensity of the phenomenon where a character would momentarily slow down upon successful hit has been reduced. All right, so that was pretty quick. We didn't really read much. The only like major change was Valkyrie, and that's where they got their damage change. So very cool. That was a quick read. So there is a new party boss for the Black Temple that probably is coming out next week that will give it a shot. And added a new boss that can be challenged. Very cool. I assume that means they're going to have like a new like story for this one, so we all know what it is. And new rewards, essentially. So normal, and then hard mode. Oh, okay. These kind of look the same, to be honest, as the other party bosses, so nothing really out of the ordinary. There is a new item. The Goblin Amulet is basically like you turn it into, I think, a fail stack, but we'll see. Okay, so the Goblin Amulet for the hard mode will definitely obtain. You will definitely obtain one Goblin Amulet. Basically, another way to get fail stacks. If you don't know how to make a 130 stack, just watch literally any of my enhancing videos, and then you can make that in like 5 minutes as well. Basically, how do you make a 130 stack? In case you don't know how, buy a random black star and then just keep failing it up to like 200 or something. That's how you make free 200 stacks. Is it the best way? Not really, but if it goes to pen or something, that's, you know, like either an upgrade or you get it. So the best way to make fail stacks in terms of like silver with, you know, higher risk is failing Reblath. But if you want something in return, black stars are always the way to go. But if you're doing it on like actual min-max value, then Reblath is the way to enhance. All right, so more rewards. They kind of have this like the proof of conquest if you do bosses on hard mode. Kind of get those. They already have it in the game for the other ones. Nothing new here. New monsters, Dark Follower, Bed Reorganization. So Darkseekers Retreat is getting buffed. You know how the spot right now is. They have revamped Darkseekers Retreat so many times. And in the upcoming patch, they're going to be making this like a higher end spot. So just be careful of that. It's going from like what, a 310 to 330 AP spot. But they're like increasing the rewards and everything and adding telescope pieces to it. So that's my skimming notes from before. It's been revamped and they are now stronger than earlier. So if you liked the spot before and you were like barely scraping by at like 310 AP, just be careful going in the future. You probably should still be able to do it in the post patch, but just know it's going to hit harder. Okay, so they have added telescope parts and Origin of Dark Hunger and essences. So those are pretty awesome. If you're going for the telescope piece, Tungrad Ruins for the one, and this one could be an alternative to City of the Dead, because we all know City of the Dead is probably one of the worst things. It's not fun. Trust me when I say I've been there for like 100+ hours, maybe even more, going for that before I finally got it. So anyway, AP went from 310 to 330. What does that actually mean in terms of like practicality? Things will probably, assuming you are like 401 plus DP and you're full buffed, instead of it doing like 10% of your HP, it's probably going to do like 20%. Recommended defense at 420 to 430. Pretty standard stuff. If they're really buffing it, just keep that in mind. Like, it's going up 20 points. Usually when they say all this, it doesn't really mean anything, because I think, for example, you know, some of the higher end spots in the game, Tungrad Ruins is not really hard if you know how to iframe, if you know how to use your super armors. Pretty much that. Same goes for this spot as well. So the amount of trash loot, essentially, that can be obtained has been increased from 4 to 5 to 10 to 12, and with Agris is 15 to 27. We'll definitely be doing another update video after this change, so we can, see the difference. Admittedly, like, the only time I've grinded here was the first week or two of when this came out for the Ator shoes, and so it's like straight up gonna be a different spot than what I know. And yeah, so looking forward to the changes. Hopefully it's good for endgame players. The number of trash loot is obtained 1 to 3 to 2 to 4, and with Aggregates 5 to 9 from the ads that come out with it. So yeah, so there's like the boss and then the minis when you get the mini event, and so that's cool. And the Dark Follower mini boss on 20 to 30 to 80 to 100. That's a lot. That's a huge buff, actually. The Light of Dehkia. This one is something I was so happy to see, because like over the past like month or two, I have tried to choose spots that don't pick or use Dehkia simply because I hate using the lantern. It's not like the silver cost or anything. I just kind of hate doing it because of like time inconvenience. So the consumption of the Dehkia Lantern fuel is changed. So you know how when you start the Dehkia spot, it takes 20 fuel or whatever it's called, right? Now it's going to be 1 to initially start. I understand why it was 20 at the start to prevent like, a lot of like random stuff, PvP or technical griefing, whatever, what they want to call it. But it was just kind of an inconvenience. And for me in particular, I didn't really like it simply because I had times when I had free time to grind, and then like a boss will spawn like 15 minutes later. I'm just like, well, I guess I'm missing this world boss because I don't want to pay another 20 fuel to restart it in like 5 minutes. So yeah, so they changed the Dehkia fuel from 20 to 1. I think that's a fair trade. And over the past like 6 months or a year, ever since they kind of changed the whole PvP system and everything, honestly, I don't really have any troubles grinding. Like, I could go into most grind spots, and then even like the popular spots, and then most people are just chill. So I'm sure like PvP still happens and everything, but like at least for me it doesn't. So, and most people who are grinding other spots just go to the Marnie realm, but it is what it is. So yeah, I think this is a good change from 20 to 1. I think they mostly made it so people wouldn't start like griefing and everything, but I think it just hurt the majority of players more than anything. And so yeah, due to this change, in some hunting grounds, the monsters below will appear first for a certain period of time when the Dehkia Lantern is used. So the baby gargoyles first. I actually didn't like this spot. And it's not that the spot was bad. It's just if you play with sound on, the gargoyle screeching for like an hour straight has got to be one of the worst things. So I don't know how many of you guys do this as well, but usually when I'm not recording, I turn the sound completely 100% off. And even then, in some like party bosses and stuff, you could still hear sound effects, even if all your sounds are off, which is wild. So, which is sad because I actually enjoy like the video music and all that stuff. But when you're grinding and you're listening to the same loop of stuff over and over, you just like, I literally mute all sound in game 99% of the time when I'm playing, and I literally just second monitor, listen to a podcast, watch some streams or something, and that's how I play the game. That's how I've been doing it for like 6 years or something. But anyway, that was off topic. Olins, the Colossus of Rock and the Indomitable ones appear first. Very cool. I actually still need to grind Olins, actually. I want a merchant ring piece from there, which I have not had much luck going for it. So anyway, a lot of that stuff. New in-game emojis have been added. That's actually like, oh, that's cool. Like, no one asked for this, but they're adding it, so I think that's cool. So yeah, these are all the party bosses. If you've done the entire story for everything, that's basically it. So The one thing, man, I wish they would add more emotes for the solo bosses, because some of them are actually cool. I like the solo boss stories as well. The icons for the items have been improved to shine more brightly depending on their abilities. Margoria raw stones and Margoria sea stones by the ability. So let me show you this in game actually. Let me hold on. Okay. By the way, kind of off topic as well. I'm gonna make a video about this whole Royal Workshop thing, because I'm pretty sure that's gonna confuse a lot of people if you have no idea what's happening. But anyway, so let me see. What was I gonna show you? I don't even remember where I put them actually. They're probably either in the Calpheon, Porphyria, or they're in Ilia Island. Okay, so these crystal thingies, they go based on the tier of, like, you know, white, green, blue, and all that stuff. So I think they're just trying to make them. They're basically just trying to make them more like brighter, so you can differentiate what they do by effects. So I think overall that's a good thing. Very cool. I hope that all of you who have wanted a Carrack nowadays have gotten yours. We made a video a little bit earlier in the week talking about all the different Carracks, how you can get your own, and which ones are good for like certain things. So yeah, if you want to check that out, that's a cool video to watch as well. So hopefully all of you who have never thought of doing sailing or bartering, now you can try it out yourself with a non-potato boat. So I think that's a good thing. All right, so requests and knowledge. Admittedly, this is something I don't really care too much about until I need to do it. Node wars and stronghold wars, node war sieges, essentially. The issue with the fortress could not be installed in the following fortress areas in the remote installation mode of the stronghold war. When the stronghold war progress method was set to construction method, has been fixed in these areas. Very cool. UI. The response when having to press the change posture shortcut has been modified to be faster. Oh, thank God. You guys ever press this button actually, and then you know how your character crouches, and it takes it's like so slow. Now it's faster. That's actually a W change. The description message has been improved to be more clear in the following situations. So wars, when you hover the mouse over the participation application in the guild member status tab, participate in a base battle. So you know your guild tab, you know all the things on the side, like yes, no, yes, up for war is what we all know. Yeah, those kind of things. Okay, so more stuff. Fixes and changes. Dosa and Archer change. Shy change. Admittedly, don't really know. Fixed an issue where the defense increased by 1 when entering the Solaire, Arena of Solaire after wearing some costumes exchanged to the exchange market has been fixed. Yeah, so this is not a new thing. Certain outfits have +1 DP on it. It's a thing. Is it an advantage? Yes. Is it a big advantage? No. You know what the biggest advantage is? Playing on a good class or a meta class. But yeah, I'm glad this is fixed. This is a good change, actually. If we're trying to have a game mode where literally everything is equalized, that's one good thing about it. Next, they need to work on actual class balance. But anyway, various classes having their Black Spirit ults changed. Fixed an issue where the selected mount would appear twice when more than 10 mounts were selected for the stable. Admittedly, I don't look at that enough to know. Unnatural text would be displayed when quickly and equipping and unequipping equipment taken from the stable. Yeah, so I noticed this change they added probably about a month ago. So like you can transfer a horse gear over without having to take out the horse, and then you do it from the stable itself. I never really bothered because all the horses that are relevant to me are already geared, so it's like, who cares? But I think some of these changes are good. Fix the issue where the size icon of the border items worked on in the Royal Workshop was not correct. Yeah, I'll be making a video about this in the future once I like actually figure out how to structure the video. We'll be talking about how the Royal Workshop works and how to, make all the items and stuff, how to go about doing it as a beginner. It's actually very easy though. If you know how to use like node managers in town and like how to set up a house kind of thing, it's kind of like that, but with a few extra steps. Overall, it's not really hard to figure out at all. Fix an issue where equipping the baby cryo fishing backpack would be exposed when the character was swimming. Dude, this is a pay to win item, actually. Yeah, I kind of wish they didn't add it to the game. I know why they did, but it is kind of a pay to win item. It is what it is. Okay, so just visual changes, story quest changes. Yeah, that's it. So, anyway, with that said, what are the notable changes from today's patch? For all of you PvEers, Dehkia Lantern Fuel has been changed. That's a huge W for endgame grinders. Darkseekers is getting harder and it's getting buffed in the next patch, so just be careful of that one. I'll be making a video testing it as well, so in case you guys are wondering what it feels like in the future, just wait for my video coming soon, TM. Royal Workshop video coming soon, TM, to adding a new boss for all of you. And like overall, these are just like mostly text descriptions and various technical fixes for a lot of classes. It's been 3 weeks. All the classes have been getting changed in a way, and Dark Knight has not been seen at all. Feels bad. But anyway, with that said, those are the patch notes for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And we got, of course, some more stuff coming in the future. So if you're new to your channel, first and foremost, welcome. Hope you guys stick around and hit that subscribe button. Would love to see you guys come back. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.